Good afternoon, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and I'm trying to update my tags really quickly. I see that it says again that I'm doing the Oracle stock. I am not doing the Oracle stock. It has not updated. But anyway, I will change that later since I'm live. But anyway, I want to get right into, now what I'm doing is the 48 Laws of Power by myself, but of course it's based upon the book by Robert Greene and Joyce Elfer, okay? Pretty sure I butchered the other guy's name who is the co-author of this book. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the book because I think that this is my own take about the 48 Laws of Power. Now, you know this channel is financially based, but again, you're going to get very insightful information that's get down to the social economics of things. But the first thing you have to fix, the first thing that you have to realize is your own power and to have to navigate through different spaces in order to be in the place that you actually want to be. Okay, so you may agree with some of my bias, you may disagree with some of my opinions. Leave your comments in the chat, leave your comments in the description below in the comments, but let's have a really good discussion about some of these 48 Laws of Power. Some of you may have read this book and some of you may have not. Nonetheless, this is a very powerful book that has changed my life, the way I think about things, the way I go about things, the way I strategize, the way I plan. This is a very powerful book. Now I got a little paraphrasing here that I got, and it's broken down. So we're not going through chapters of a book. We're going simply through a PDF file. It's going to be very short and concise, and we're not going to go through the entire 48 Laws of Power. Okay, we're not going through the entire 48 Laws of Power, but we're going to go through enough of them for you get the gist of what I'm talking about. And if you want to pick this book up and support Robert Greene and Joyce Elfer, then go ahead. But the power of this book is where you need, because right now I'm listening to Hustle Harder by 50 Cent. You know, he also had the 50 Laws of Power. He was a co-author, him and Robert Greene got together. But now I'm listening to his audiobook called Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. That's called audiobook by 50 Cent, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. And 50 Cent is the actual person who is narrating his own story, which I absolutely love. So his own audiobook, I'm pretty sure he's going to have it in a written book. But nonetheless, let's get into 48 Laws of Power. I think it's very, very imperative that we get into this. And I'm not going to read each and every one. I'm not going to talk about each and every one. But I'm going to get on some particular ones that I think that are very pertinent in our lives today that may transform your life, okay? And you don't have to go out and get the book. You can read it right here with me, and these things may transform your life. I'm pretty sure they will. This is a little different take on this financial channel because I have to teach you some of the steps. I believe that I have to show you some of the things that I've read and went through in order for your mind to transform, okay, to elevate to a different place so you think more broadly than what you are, okay? Law number one, never outshine the master. Have any of you ever try to show off, essentially, like, even though it may be your boss, maybe somebody in a higher position, a higher level of authority, you kind of let them know how smarter you are, how faster you are, instead of by your actions. Let's read this. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. Okay, you're gonna always try to make them feel superior. It's not like you like, yes, master. Yeah, no, it's not like that. Showing proper respect. In your desire to please or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. And fear, in a sense, I'm a kind of not so much fear, but reverence in those regards, okay? Make your master appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. It's like make your supervisor, make your boss feel more brilliant than they are. Because you know what they do, who people like that, even some of the things that you absolutely know, still go ask your boss for their guidance. And some of you like, oh, I'm not sucking up to that person. I'm not rubbing their back. Let me tell you something. If you're working for an organization and you're not working for yourself and you're trying to achieve a certain level, you're trying to achieve a certain position, these are some of the tactics that you must do, okay? This is not selling your card, if any sense, whatever whatever race or nationality or ethnic group you may be a part of. This is how to achieve. You have to put on your business cap. You have to put on your business cap. You have to do the things that normal people, regular people aren't willing to do. And it's kind of like if something simple as printing some copies. I know that's below everybody, but this is for an example. You say, hey, boss, I've been trying to work on this, but I have no idea how to do this, but you do. Oh, yeah, the only thing you got to do. And then once they show you, later on that day, you come back and you say, thank you so much. That helped me out so much. And you still produce great work. Here's another one. Law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies. Oh, you got to read that again. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies. And I'm going to just read this and then we'll elaborate on it. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. Aren't your friends jealous of you? They don't really tell you, but they show you, or the way they structure their sentences. They're like, oh, I see you bought a nice little car over there. You got the little M3 BMW. They demean, okay? They demean what you have achieved, okay? Whether it be materialistically, educationally, you bought a business, you started a business. He's like, oh yeah, man, I started a business. Instead of congratulating you, well, they congratulate you, but on a very small scale. Oh man, that's real good. And that be it. That's that envy. That's that envy. And that's why this is important for you guys to get out the headspace. Be wary of friends that will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They are quick to be jealous more than anything else. They also become spoiled and tyrannical, but hire a former enemy, someone who didn't like you before they knew you. You ever had that person like, oh man, before I really knew you, I didn't like you. But now that I know you, I like you. But hire a former enemy and he or she will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove to you. Because now he is on your side because he was once against you before. This is psychological. Understand what I'm getting at. In fact, you have more to feel from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Find a way to make them. You know, I've made a lot of enemies over my time, and then they have become associates or friends, or even sometimes clients. They say, you know, when I was working with you, you made me feel stupid. You made me feel this way because I did not invest. I did not save. But then I understood when I got my family, the things that you were speaking about was not for the present moment. It was for the future. So now I understand where you were getting it. And now I agree. And now I want to go forward in the speaks, in the talks, in the life that you were giving me. You get what I'm trying to say? That is kind of some of the way I look at that. Conceal your intentions. Let me tell you, people, stop boasting, stop telling, stop celebrating everything that you achieve on every level. Everybody doesn't need to know what you have going on. They don't. Because some people are saboteurs. Some people may sabotage. And guess who those people are? Your closest friends, your closest family. Because those are the ones that you may think that will be for your good, telling you, you should go forth and do those things in order to be successful. Those things that'll be profitable for you and your family, for you to have a better life. But they're like, I wouldn't do all that because, you know, they always have some sort of negative connotation around their speech. And you may not want to be around with those people. So conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what are you up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the road, down the wrong path, envelope them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intention, it will be too late. I got to read that again. That is so, so powerful. And I'm going to use a very small explanation for you to understand what I get from there. Again, this is the 48 Laws of Power by Ray Ross and how I look at it and how I apply it to my life. But the book is written by Robert Greene and Joost. Keep people off balance in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. if they have no clue what are you up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Okay? You up there running your mouth, telling everything that you have going on, everything that you're doing, and people are whispering to other people, and those people are preparing a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelope them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Sometimes you have to shut your damn mouth. That's what you have to do, because sometimes the people you think you're friends, they're not your friends, and then they go tell your enemies, and they prepare defense, and you wonder, how did that backfire? I'm going to give you an example. You at work, and your boss or doesn't really like you, or a coworker that really doesn't like you. They will call you up and speak something that is not company business, or it goes against company business, and say, how do you feel about that? To trap you, okay, to trap you in your words, or your boss may give you an assignment or give you work or give you a schedule, but they do it verbally and tell you to write it down versus them doing it over the company chat, versus them doing it over the company email. So what you need to do is email them back, say, per our conversation, I understand these are the tasks that you have given me. Okay? And make sure you put a read receipt on it to make sure when they pop that thing open and anything goes down wrong, you have to protect yourself. Okay? We have to understand business. Even if you have your own business, even if you have your own business, you must conceal your intentions on so many platforms, because people are out there to destroy you. And you may think he is speaking psychological boogeyman stuff. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If everybody in business would reveal how they became successful, why they are trying to become successful, they would have never become successful. You know, your Bill Gates, your Elon Musk, your Jeff Bezos, they can tell people how now they become successful. When you're one of the richest men in the world, of course you have nothing to lose. But on their way to the top, they wasn't telling people how they got there. Law number 4, always say less than necessary. Man, this has gotten me in trouble plenty of times. When you are trying to impress people with words, woo, that hit the hallmark right there. The more you say, the more common you appear and the less in control. Here's the thing that's very dangerous in conversations. If you are a person that knows a lot about a little bit of things, you can get yourself involved in a conversation that you may start going off in different tangents because you don't have a lot of information about that particular topic. And then you have to understand the environment that you're in. What if it's a professional environment? You raise your hand like you're the subject matter expert and you really don't know that much about it. You just know two things about it, 2 points, but the expert's in the room and he knows 10 points. You're going to look like a fool. You're going to look, the reason why I came up with that is the roof shingles are glued with Gorilla Glue. No. Sometimes you have to say less. Even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ending, and Sphinx-like. I do this all the time. This is how I love to spark. This is how I like to incite intelligent conversation. You just say something like, well, if you vote for Biden, how does that push the black agenda? Oh, well, we can't have Trump in the presidency. And see how I automatically incite a conversation? But I never say I was the expert on politics, but I back away. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. I'm going to say it again. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Okay? Unless you're just a SME. Unless you are just a subject matter expert More than likely, the more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. That's why sometimes asking a question you can intimidate people with a question. Okay. The person I like to quote here is Dr. Umar Johnson. He is so intelligent. He knows how to ask a question to excite fires under people. You know, people like Dr. Umar Johnson, Boris Watkins, they know how to ask these questions to really invigorate people to go off in tangents and let them speak away, you know, their unintelligence, okay, their stupidity. The only thing they did was ask a question. That's what I like to do. Well, how does voting for Joe Biden push the Black agenda? How does voting for Joe Biden helps us get reparations? And then you start talking about Donald Trump. That wasn't even a question. You start to lose control, okay? So law number 5, so much depends on reputation guarded with your life. This speaks for itself. Reputation is a cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once you slip, however, you are vulnerable and you'll be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputation. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. I got somebody for you guys, okay? And I have nothing against this person, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, have nothing, never met her. I know she had a talk show for a very long time, made billions of dollars, got her own network, very successful Black woman. But here's the thing. It says right here, through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. And Oprah Winfrey is a big name in entertainment, okay? Always be alert to potential attacks and throw them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputation. What's Oprah Winfrey's reputation about now that she's out of the Oprah Winfrey show? That she goes after Black men, right? That she goes after Black men politically by doing a documentary, but she won't go out for white men who have done some of the same things that white men have done, okay? Like the Epstein guy. She won't go out her close friends, but she'll go out to Black men, supposedly her and Gail. So now the last part of this, which I absolutely love, then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. Think about that. Because now Black people and Black women, you know, I know Black people are Black women, but I'm saying she had a lot of us, everybody like Oprah Winfrey, we really never knew why. I think we celebrate Black excellence, Black successfulness, but now we like, okay, well, all of her shows usually had what? Middle-aged white women on her show. Okay, very few Black people was ever on her show. Our eyes begin to open and we're like, now she's attacking Black men. So wait a minute, what's going on? And then now she's coming up with this show. I forgot it was with Disney or CNN, somebody. She's going to have this show about race. So because we've been taking her through the fire. The public has been taking her through the fire. Okay. I'm going to skip a few. Now this one can be very controversial. And let me tell you, they do it in business all the time. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and layer work of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you the godlike aurora of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Now, let's be real, family. Who has done this? Who has done this? Now, in the military, let me tell you, this has happened all the time. In the military, this happens all the time. I'm going to tell you how it happens. You have these evaluation reports, and your boss, your supervisor, will write your accomplishments on their evaluation report because while you was handling that project, they oversee you handling that project, so they take credit too. It happens all the time in business. If someone was running a campaign, if someone's running some sort of donation and it raised this amount of money, your boss will take the credit as well. Yeah, I kind of led the spearhead on this one. Me and Ray got together and we worked out on this. You're like, me and you got together. We didn't get together on nothing. I asked you, could I do this? And you said, yeah. He gave you the authority. He gave you the privilege. He gave you the right to do it. So they're going to take credit. Okay. So don't look at this. Don't look at this in a very demonic way. Don't look at this in a very negative way, because it's really not that, because it happens all the time. Good afternoon, Maddox. Now, this was a little tricky too. When you force the other person to act, law number 8, make other people come to you, use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are in control. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him in with the fabulous games, then attack. You hold the cards. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I was in the military, and this captain, he thought he knew everything. Okay, my supervisor thought he knew everything, and I was trying to teach him. I was trying to give him my wisdom and knowledge. He's like, no. In the book it says this. I said, sir, the book is outdated. That's not what we actually do on the ground. He like, well, we're gonna do it this way. And granted, I could have pushed the narrative. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to let him fall on his face. So he fell on his face. And then the commander then said, well, why didn't you talk to Ray? Ray is a subject matter expert. So now from that point on, he had to come to me in those regards for that particular thing. Right. So I had control. And because then when he knew the amount of knowledge I knew, he was no longer in control. He was in charge. He was in the position, but I had the control, right? I said, well, sir, last quarter, I didn't receive the evaluation I thought I should receive, and I've been doing this and the other. I can't continue to help if I don't see the evaluation. So he wrote my evaluation 2 months. And I got a 5-star rating. It's a little different in the military. I'm just kind of making it civilianized. I got a 5-star rating for that next term because of the control and the power, because of my knowledge and wisdom. You have to essentially have people to fall on their face or bait them in order for them to let you know, hey, look, you just because you hold the position doesn't make you the man in charge. Just because you hold the position does not make you the man in charge. Here's a big one that you all need to really, really dig deep. Win through your actions, never through argument. Win through your actions, never through argument. Any monetary triumph you think gained through argument is really a fake victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any monetary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions. Without saying a word, demonstrate, do not explain. Okay. I know I'm about to get a little political here. I know I am. And again, let me put a disclaimer out there. I'm not affiliated with the Democratic Party, the Independent Party, or the Republican Party. I don't subscribe to none of them. You won't hear me say that I go along with any of them, but I will say this. Win through your actions, never through argument. Win through your actions, never through argument. Joe Biden is trying to win through his argument, not his actions. He was on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne the God, and Charlemagne the God said, what is your black agenda? What is the African-American reparations packet? What is your regulation, laws, policies that you're going to try to pass once you get in office? And then Joe Biden goes to say, oh, look what I've done for the black community. I marched with this person, and I was the vice president with Barack Obama. Okay, bruh. Okay. You're trying to win through your argument, not through your actions. So some of you are going to go and vote for Joe Biden. Okay, you're going to go and vote for Sleepy Joe, as Donald Trump was saying. It's just funny. I had to say it. It's so funny. You're going to vote for Sleepy Joe, right? Because you're going to go and vote for Kamala. I don't know how to pronounce her name correctly because there's a lot of rhetoric out there about how. So I'm going to say Kamala Harris, because she is now deeming herself as an African-American woman / Indian / Asian American. But we understand when she ran for the Senate in California, she ran on Asian American. But now, granted, somebody's going to come back and say, well, she went to Howard University. And there's many of non-black people that go to Howard University. How do I know? I'm from Washington, D.C. How did I know? I took summer classes at Howard University. There's non-black people that go to Howard University. But now, because the Black Lives Matter movement has helped everything out, essentially, now everybody want to be black. Cardi B, she didn't consider herself an Afro-Latina. Now she's an Afro-Latina. She was like, I'm Latina, like, well, if you're Dominican and you understand how you got the body you got, how you, your features, do you understand that some of your descendants were Africans? That the Spain raped and enslaved the Africans, and that's how you have them. You don't understand that? But at first she wasn't on that ticket. So we need to understand all of this. But people like, oh my gosh, here's one. Dr. Boyce Watkins said this. I'm paraphrasing. Why is it that Joe Biden is willing to interview Cardi B, but they won't interview a black intellectual? They won't interview a black conscious person, or AKA a black woke person. Why won't they do that? Well, I mean, for Pete's sakes, won't you interview Neil deGrasse Tyson? He's an astrophysicist. Okay, you don't have to do anyone that you've seen as a black radical, okay, like a Tariq Nasheed, which I love the guy, but you don't want to do him or D.L. Hughley, because guess what? They're going to challenge him on what? Black reparations. He don't want to hear that, because when he was on Charlemagne the God channel, what did he try to do? He tried to throw it and deflect and talk above him. He didn't answer the question. So now he's going to go to a person who did not consider themselves an African American or an African descended person. Let's just take the American away. An African descended person. But now you want to talk to her because of what? WAP? WAP? W-A-P? WAP? Are you serious? Everything is being deflected to get the black vote. If you're falling for the same tricks, term after term after term after term of the Democratic Party, of the Republican Party, if the independents ever had a voice and enough money, it doesn't matter. You keep falling for the same thing. The most important election, the most important vote, in my opinion, is your local elections. That's the most important. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your vote. And then some of you may say, well, our ancestors fought and died for the right for us to vote. You're right. The right for you to vote. The right for you to vote or not to vote. Then guess what? They got write-in ballots. Write in your homeboy. Know what? Do something. And they'll say you're going to waste the vote. Write in Barack Obama. You know he can't win. He's not even running. But what I'm saying is, why we continue to vote for the lesser of two evils? They're both evil. Oh, we don't want Donald Trump in office. What has Donald Trump done to you? What has he done for you? Okay, cool. Nothing, right? Nothing. Oh, he is overtly racist. Okay, then everybody else was covertly racist. Doesn't matter. If you're still going to label him as a racist, then they're a racist, right? So what does it matter? Why do that? See, we continue to let Democrats, and the reason why I'm harping on Democrats, because the majority of black people vote for Democrats, because Democrats keep telling us what they're going to do for black people. They hint around it. They, like the other day, I saw this old video of Hillary Clinton on the Breakfast Club, and she talking about she carried hot sauce in her pocketbook. You telling me a rich, I'm not saying it's impossible, family, but why would she have the audacity and the nerve to tell black people she carried hot sauce in her pocketbook? Let me tell you what I think. Some of these politicians, some of these powerful people, they believe Africans in general are stupid. They believe that we are illiterate. They believe that they don't even have to hold a veil over our eyes. They can do whatever in front of our faces, and we're going to fall for it. And we keep falling for it. We keep falling for it. They are interviewing, they are questioning entertainers. What do entertainers know about politics unless they somehow gain black consciousness? They start to read. They start to read laws that have been passed. They start to see who was associated with different things. Okay. I was talking to a fella today, and we're talking about Kamala Harris about her truancy law, how that targeted the black community. Okay, and how she's a prosecutor. There was a lot of lies that came up about her. Let's be real. I know I'm off the topic of 48 laws of power. I know. I do this sometimes. But nonetheless, here's the thing. Now, some of you are going to disagree with me. Some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's so fine. Whether you are Hispanic, Asian, or Caucasian, you may disagree with what I'm about to say. But I have to be real. If Barack Obama was married to a white woman, do you think black women would have voted for him? Now, I can't speak for all black women. I'm going to speak for about 100,000, I think. No. How can you care for black people and you can't honor a black woman? See, but now it's flipped. They voted in, okay, he not voted in, but got the nomination for Kamala Harris because she is now African/Indian American, but that may gain the black female vote because they understand this is the most powerful thing that you guys need to understand. They understand that having the black female vote, first of all, there's more black females. Black females are more prone to vote than black males, and they outnumber us anywhere from 2 or 3 to 1. And then they can influence their black male to vote for the Democratic Party. But the question is, Sleepy Joe, he's been in government since government started. He's been in government for like 40 years. What has he done for black people? Nothing. But you're going to interview Cardi B, who just realized she was an Afro-Latina? Are you serious? You can't get nobody else? He doesn't want to interview anybody who's going to challenge him. Okay? Man, I'm telling you, you really have to lift the veil from you guys' eyes. Let me see what else I got on here, man. Here's a good one. Law number 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy by yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Again, this is about business. Don't get personal. This is about business. This is what powerful and intelligent people do all the time. They ask these particular direct questions. Right? It says indirect, but they ask these indirect questions to people to start to speak about things, and they learn their weaknesses, they learn their intentions, they learn their plans, they learn their blueprint, they learn everything they need to know by asking very simple questions indirectly and directly. You get what I'm trying to say? But the whole entire time you are a spy, like, yeah, what you say? Yeah, I can understand what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm going to use this later. Okay. Crush your enemy totally. I'm not going to get into that one. That's a long conversation. Let's see what else we have on here. I'm skipping a few, guys. Know you're dealing with not to offend the wrong person. This has happened to us all. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their life seeking revenge. There are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person. You have to do your research. You have to know who you're talking to. You have to know who you're dealing with. You might offend the wrong person. Now, sometimes you'll see that people will talk bad about a business to someone they don't even know. Come to find out, that person is the CEO of the company. They're the VP of the company. They're the financial officer of the company. There's your supervisor, but you up there running your mouth. Know who you dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. That's why sometimes you have to keep to yourself. I understand that women are social creatures. I know that men love to talk in bubbles. But here's the thing. It don't matter if you're male or female. Know what you're saying at all times and who you are saying it to. Know who you're saying it to. Because you don't know the influence or power or the people that they may know that can tumble your entire life down. Let me just tell you. It says, do not commit to anyone. I'm going to move. It said, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Nope. I'm going to move on. Here we go. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. You gain more by finding a rich mind and a mind deeper than by flirting from one shallow mind to another. Intensity defeats intensity every time. Looking for sources of power to elevate you. Find the one key patron, that fat cow who will give you milk for a long time to come. Basically, find a sucker and give them all your attention so they can be your guinea pig and you can slaughter them later. Recreate yourself. Law number 25. This right here, this is so powerful for me because I grew up in Southeast DC, okay, Washington, DC, Southeast DC. And anytime I go back home, it's not that I always see the same people doing the same thing. I see a lot of my community and in my environment has not changed. And it's because of the people. And some of those same people who I went to high school with, that I knew, friends of the family, they have not changed their stripes. Do not accept the roles that society foists for you. Do not accept the roles that society has put on you, that has labeled you. That's what we has done. Oh, well, I'm from the hood, so I'm always going to be a hood. I keep everything gangster. Oh, my gosh. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, a one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master. Be the master of your own image. You are what you show people. If you show people you're a thug, then you're a thug, regardless of what come out your mouth. If you show people stupidity, then you are stupid. If you show people you do foolish things, then you are a fool. Recreate yourself rather than letting others define it for you. Don't let people define who you are. If you are a public speaker, then become a public speaker. If you're an entrepreneur, then become an entrepreneur. Show people what you are. Show people what. Stop letting people define what and who you are. Incorporate dramatic device into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. You need to recreate yourself. I was just talking to a guy who delivered some stuff at my doorstep. Won't say his name, won't say his company. Don't want to get the guy out there like that. But I will say we had a really deep discussion. Now, he was a convicted felon. And there's only certain jobs he can do. But what did I teach him? What did I tell him in the short time frame that we spoke about other ways to create other streams of income? You don't have to keep working for these large corporations, but you can. But there's other ways to create other streams of income. Don't let your conviction identify you. Don't let your past identify you. So what, you did drugs. So what? Recreate your identity. Recreate yourself. Be something better than what you see yourself. I made an image board. I made a vision board. And I said, you know what? I want to run my own business. I want to get better in shape. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm living in that dream. I'm living in my vision. Whether I succeed or fall, I'm living in the vision I put forth myself. All right? Because I always thought something more powerful, like, Ray, you're just not a college grad. Ray, you're just not an Army vet. Ray, you're much more than that. You're a public speaker. You inspire people. You are a teacher, okay? You are a mentor. You are a coach. Try to be in different facets of your life. Like I coach on my son's football team. Be anything and everything you ever wanted to be. First, you need to have the vision to see it, because imagery is the most powerful force Imagery is the most powerful force in this world today. Take it back to Cardi B. This video called WAP is all over the internet, but we know what she's talking about. Wet something punani. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about. Right now, we don't need videos like that because it's deflecting our people from the very true problems in our communities. But for some reason, this is getting more headways than any other video. I don't know why. There was all sorts of Luke videos. They did show women popping and tip drill. Why this one? Why a person who at one point didn't even consider themselves African? Why? It's to deflect us. Because let me go back to what I was saying before. I know I'm getting off topic. I don't care right now. But I tell you this. Why is it anytime they get entertainers, anytime they get comedians, anytime, now don't get me wrong, some of these entertainers, some of these singers, some of these rappers are very conscious people, okay? They are on code with the black agenda. They are on code. I totally understand it. But here's the thing. Why they like to interview the one who really don't know too much about it, who don't even associate themselves with it, to get your attention that they are cool and that they're good with black people and Hispanic people. Because when you talk to Cardi B, me being an African American, I know that she's an Afro Latina. So you talk to black people and you talk to Hispanic people. But African Americans, Hispanic Americans, wake up, wake up. They're pulling. They don't have an agenda for you guys. They don't have an agenda for black people. They don't have an agenda for Hispanic people. They don't have an agenda for black people. They don't. Now, here's another thing. Why do they go after the black vote and not the Hispanic vote? You don't really hear them talking about Hispanics that much. Hispanics, okay, and I'm still going to say, well, some of them are illegal. Let's not get on that. Let's get on the legal Hispanics that are 16% of the population. African Americans are only 13 or 14% of the population. They out-percentage us. There are more Hispanics in America, okay, legal Hispanics that are in America than black. Why do they go after the black vote more than the Hispanic vote? Why? You know why? Black people are more influential inside the entertainment business because our music, our culture invigorates, infuses all of the avenues. Okay, don't get me wrong. Hispanics got a lot of culture. They have a lot of culture. They have a lot of diversity. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying what Joe Biden said. Not at all. I'm just saying we are so incorporated in America that we can influence other people, other ethnics, other genres more so than anybody else. So they go after us, but we never get anything in return. They get our vote, and then we wait around for 4 years and nothing happens. And then they hear another 4 years later say, hey, black people, you gave us your black vote before. Can we get it again? We're going to sing and dance with you. And this time we're going to get Cardi B and the Amigos. Yay! No. They're going to keep fooling our ass and give us absolutely nothing. You're going to get jack and shh. That's what you're going to get. That is what you're going to get. Law number 6, keep your hands clean. You must seem, look, your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and catapults to disguise your environment. I call these those secret societies. These guys be all over the globe doing all sorts of insensitive things. I'll say it that way. But they never get caught because they keep their hands clean. Just be on the straight and narrow, family. Just be on the straight and narrow. Do things the right way. Do things the right way the first time. You don't have to worry about nobody coming after to get you. I'm going to move down some. Interaction with boldness. Law number 28. Law 28, interaction with boldness. This is very important because I was a timid person. I was a timid person. Now I'm just knee deep. I'm head first. If you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitation will affect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Be better to enter with boldness. Any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold. No one honors the timid. You ever had someone who was just very timid and very passive aggressive? You're like, but you like that one. Hey, man, this is one of the, here's the play. You love that person who comes in very bold, very assured of themselves. And guess what? Guess what, gentlemen? Women love a man who is sure of himself, not conceited, not someone who's full of themselves, but very confident. They love that guy who come in there. He said, how you doing, ladies? How you guys doing today? Everybody's okay? Anybody need a drink? But they got that one guy at the bar that's like, she said, hey, how you doing today? I'm doing good. What everything? Yeah, I'm just. You get what I'm trying to say? You got them very timid people who can be, they can be in the environment of excellence. They can be in the area of excellence, but they scared to raise their hand. They scared to take a step forward. Be bold. Be bold in your actions. Be bold in your actions. Good afternoon, Chris Johnson. Let's read what Chris Johnson had to say. You need to vote for politicians who will leave you alone. Government handouts only keep you dependent on them. Okay, I have no argument with that. None at all. Plan all the way to the end. I'm not going to talk about it. It speaks for itself. Plan all the way to the end. Make a plan, finish a plan. Law number 30, make your accomplishment seem effortless. Law 31, control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Woo! Have people to buy in on your agenda. If you come up with a plan and you need help, first you have to have people who are going to play with the card you deal them. If you got a lot of people in your circle who just object to everything you do, get rid of them. Get rid of them. I don't mean X them as friends. I don't mean X them as business associates. But for that particular plan, you don't need people who's going to object to your plan. I'm going to tell you this. Everybody can't see the same thing at the same time. And this is very powerful because when Jeff Bezos was building Amazon, not everybody could see Jeff Bezos' vision that I'm going to have a technology company that sell books online. Not that I'm going to have a bookstore online. I'm going to have a technology company that's online. They say a technology company. This is a bookstore online. Like, no, Jeff Bezos said this is a technology company that sells books online. Everybody's not going to have the same vision as you. You have to get rid of those people who don't see your vision. Amazon had 14 principles of leadership, and it's good to learn them. You need to buy into the business because anytime I work for an organization, even when I was in the Army, they had a term called leadership. It's good to buy into those principles, right? Because they want everybody not in uniform. They want everybody on the same accord with the same agenda. And when you're talking about your own business, when you're talking about your own plans, when you're talking about your own future, you need to deal with people with your same agenda. When you give somebody the card, when you give somebody the plan, they say, hey, I'm going to execute your plan the way that you tell me to execute it. Because there's some things where you need people to interject. Like, I want your opinions. I want some feedback, but not for this particular thing. You are the CEO. You are the boss man. You are the owner and founder. You want people to play the cards that you deal them. You have the jack of spade. You play the jack of spade. No one tell you to play the jack of hearts. I don't care. Did I tell you to play the jack of hearts? Mother, don't you play the jack of hearts. You play the jack of spade because that is the card that I dealt you. You need people on the same agenda that you have. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Law 32, play to people's fantasies. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. Woo! Learn how people work. You know, psychology really helps people with this. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. The weakness is usually why an insecurity and an uncontrollable emotional or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. Holler if you hear me. Holler if you hear me. Let me tell you something. And Chris Johnson, I'm going to get back to you very quickly. Give me 1 second. Discover each man and female's thumbscrew. Learn how they work. If you know your boss love a good bottle of scotch, then you buy them a bottle of scotch. Now, hopefully my ex-boss is not watching this particular part because I'm going to put him out there. My ex-boss at Amazon, really, really nice guy, really good guy. You can talk to him about anything. But when you start to find out certain things about a person, and you never want to, you let them know you're intelligent, but you never let them know how intelligent you are, right? So, because I love the 48 laws of power because I apply it to my everyday life. I surely do. I realized that no one really gives him gifts. So I gave him a very expensive gift. And he was gracious. He didn't even want to accept the gift. I won't say what it was. I won't say his name. But this is very true. He was very grateful. I'm not saying he changed in his character because he didn't. But don't you know our bond became stronger? Do you know to this day I can call this man and he will give me a letter of recommendation, and he's very intelligent. He was a lieutenant colonel in the military that got out and started being a manager at Amazon. It's the connections. But you know, if you learn how people work, if you learn how people operate, this can help you in your everyday life, whether it be a boss or subordinate. Do you know if you have subordinates, if you have people that work for you, if you have people under you, if you have people that are associated with you, if you learn how they work, you will get more production. You will get more out of them than any other person. How about this? If you learn how your boss works, if you learn how your CEO works, you can get more out of them than anybody else can. Anybody's boss ever went out of the way for them? Have yours did? You need to learn how they work. Learn what they like. Learn what they don't like. This doesn't mean be a sellout. This doesn't mean be a yes man. Okay, because again, you can be objectively subjective. You can be objectively subjective, meaning something like this. Well, I think that the report should be done every Thursday, every third of the month. You know what, boss? I think you're right. But there is a little bit of flexibility in there because we have other reports that's due around that time. But, you know, the third works, but maybe the fourth or fifth. You get what I'm trying to say? You've been objectively subjective, meaning you're giving him other options, but agreeing with him at the same time. Because you never want to outshine the master. You see how we are applying the 48 laws of power? This is what you must do. Now, Chris Johnson is asking Ross World, should I pay off my mortgage or buy into Tesla? Let me tell you something, Chris. You know what I'm going to say. You already know what I'm saying. Pay off your mortgage. Pay off your mortgage. Because guess what? What if Elon Musk get on the Joe Rogan show again and decided to snort coke? What if he decided to do heroin? I don't think he will, okay? But what if he decided that the Tesla stock goes down? Hey, listen, property, bruh. Property is more important than any stock. Own your house. Own your kingdom. Own your land. Then you can invest in Tesla. You'll gain more money. You'll gather more money to buy into Tesla. It'll be okay. I know. Tesla right now, you know that it's going to continue to grow. I got it. But owning your own home is much more important than investing in Tesla right now. We're almost done. We're almost done, guys. This is great. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him or her. And a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there is something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. This also has to do with the art of negotiation, especially that last part. You ever been on a car dealership and you just showed the dealer that you really wanted this car, but he didn't want to pass on the price? You was too eager, right? You didn't show him the less interest you are, the more superior you seem. Like, oh, well, how much is that? I got 5,000. How much is that? 7,000. Oh, okay, nah. I mean, I go to another car dealership. Oh, whoa. Well, how much you have? Oh, I got 5,000. No, that's all I got. Can you get me at 6,000? No, I can't get you there. I got 5,000. And then walk your way and see if sometimes it works a lot. It works a lot. Okay. But here's another thing. By acknowledging a petty problem, small, you give it existence and credibility. Now, this is a double-edged sword, and I'm going to use a relationship. A lot of times, people in relationship, we like to harp on petty things. Sometimes we need to let those things go. Now, if it's a reoccurring petty problem, then that reoccurring petty problem will become a very large petty problem. Okay? So sometimes we have to nit some things in the bud, and sometimes we have to speak with our mate. We have to speak with our partner about these things. But a lot of times in relationship, we give attention, we give acknowledgement to very petty things, and sometimes you just have to let things go. The more attention you pay, the stronger you think about it. Let's see what else. Law 38, think as you like, but behave like others. 39, stir waters to catch fish. Oh, that's a good one. I won't get into that. Despise the free lunch. Oh, yeah. Law number 40. Okay, I'm going to call you out. African Americans, black people, let's talk about it. Law number 40, despise the free lunch. The Democrats are always trying to give us free lunch, but they never give us free lunch. You ever went somewhere and they had a bonus, or they're like, if you buy this, you get this, some special promotion, and you went up there and you're like, hey, I bought this TV. I'm supposed to get this. I shouldn't say DVD player. There's a lot of millennials who don't know what a DVD player is. I'm just going to say a free MacBook. You buy this TV, you get a free MacBook. But when you buy the TV, they say, hey, we don't have any more free MacBook. That's how the Democratic Party does us. They say, come and vote. And when you vote, we're going to do a lot of things for black people. But then when we vote, they do nothing for us. That's how it is. It's a promotion that we never get promoted, that we never get the goods. We never get the discount. Let's read what it says here, though. What is offered for free is dangerous. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick, or a hidden obligation. I'm going to read that again. That sounds good. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. And this is where you see a lot of black conscious people, a lot of black conscious folk talk about, A, we need to build our own black political party. 2, if we don't, then we need to gather our resources and pay like the Indian Americans pay, like the Asian Americans pay. You never see Asian Americans and Indian Americans, you never see really Hispanic Americans in the limelight because they are willing to pay. They're willing to pay. I hate it. I know we shouldn't have to pay for nothing, but they're willing to support candidates. They give them millions of dollars to support their agendas. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You never hear about it. You never hear about legislation that's passed for American and Indians and Hispanic people because you know what? They shut their mouth up. And they gather their money and say, hey, listen, these are the 3 things we want you to do while you're in the office. Here's some money while we're asking for this. You're like, man, they bribing politicians. Man, this has been happening for hundreds of years. Ever since this country was started, people who are non-white, even people who are white, big business owners do this. They come in there with an agenda and they come in there with money. Black people, unfortunately, majority of us, we don't come with money. We come with talk and we come with our hands like this, empty. We come with our hands empty, okay? Let me tell you something. Other ethnic groups, they come in there with their hands full of money and with a 3-point agenda, 3 to 5 point agenda. They say, hey, listen, here's 10 million. These are things we want you to do in the office. And if you don't, we're going to call you on it. We're never going to support you again. And guess what? Those things happen for them. I want you guys to look, whoever wins the presidency, I want you to go back, go to somewhere like politico.com and look all the legislation, or go to whitehousegov.com. That's whitehousegov.com. Excuse me, not .com, but whitehouse.gov, and look at all the legislation they passed for other ethnic groups, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to read it again. What is offered for free is dangerous. It is usually involves either a trick or hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit, okay? They're like, we paid for those 3-point agenda. We paid for it, so we deserving of it. We didn't come with hands empty. We came with hands full of money. It's often wise to pay the full price. There is no cutting corners with excellence, but lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. That's why these other ethnic groups control politicians, because they come with money, and we need to come with money. Listen, if the Black Congressional Caucus say, we're going to pass a Black agenda, but we want every African American to donate $1. $1, which should be around $40 million. And we're going to give that to the person who's running. Then we'll start seeing Black agenda. Or I'm telling you, we'll start seeing movement on our Black agenda, on Black policies, on African American reparations or something. But you got to come with your hands full of money. This is how it works. This is how things works in the government. These other people come in with money. Law 41, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. That speaks for itself. Don't hold a position. Well, I won't get into that one. Law 42, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Law 43, work on the hearts and minds of others. Okay. It says here, coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others. Anybody ever heard, what was it called? The Art of Seduction? You actually really look into that. The Art of Seduction. It doesn't even mean in a very sexual manner. Not at all. Now, you can use it in a very sexual manner, but it's not really meant for that. It's meant for other ways you want to gain authority, power, level, money, all those good things, okay? You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. Now, I'm going to just use sex as an example, right? Have anybody ever been whipped before, sexually whipped? Okay, there's some other derogatory terms or sexual terms I can use. Plus, have anybody ever been whipped? I've been whipped. Okay, I've been whipped. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men who won't admit that they were whipped. There's a lot of women who probably won't admit that they were whipped. But you know and I know that you have been whipped before, where somebody can control you through sex. Somebody can control you through their actions. Somebody can control you for what they're doing for you or what they promise to do for you. They can control you. That is what it means by a person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. Because a pawn, you move that piece in any direction you want, except backwards. And the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual, okay, look at this, operate on their individual psychological, okay, that's the psychological, your psychological subconscious mind. I said that wrong, psychological subconscious mind. Your psyche and your subconscious mind. That's why music is so subjective to your subconscious mind, because even if you hear music at a very low volume, you'll be walking down the street at work, no music is on, but you're singing that song. Even though you barely heard the song, it's kind of like someone in your ear always telling you the same thing. They're literally repetitiously, right? Because your subconscious pays off what they hear, and then the amount of times your subconscious mind hears it is in the back, and then it comes forward, and you wonder why you're doing what you're doing. So essentially what they're saying is, with music, and I'm going to go back to your girl, Cardi B, young women listen to this song, is very influential because of the imagery and the words, because it plays on their subconscious mind. And here's the thing about your subconscious mind. Most of us don't have control of our subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind starts to manifest what it has heard. It starts to manifest what it has seen. And then it comes into fruition. It comes into reality with your conscious mind. And then you do it and you have no idea why you're doing it. It's kind of like listening to gangster rap music about someone doing you wrong. And then you got a group of guys rolling down the street, killing some other group of guys. And then you hear the stories later like, nah, man, I don't know. It's just kind of like this the spirit, this thing got on me, and I was like, nah, nobody can't do me wrong like that. Gangster rap music did it all the time, and that's why I agree on certain terms. That some people say, well, music alone can't make you do that. You make the choice, but music can be subjective to you. Music can coerce, can convince that the things that you are doing are okay. But when things are publicized, okay, like invigorating and volatile and sexual videos like that WAP video, young women they publicize that because it's public and think that it's okay. Now, granted, when you are grown, you can do whatever you want, but we're talking about our young women. We're talking about our little girls. And because it's so public, they may think that it's appropriate in the right now, and we know that it's not. We don't want them to portray that personality, to portray those acts, because guess what happens? Then you have old men, okay, older men now trying to talk to and convince younger women to sleep with them. We know that all these things lead to something, okay, being a pedophile, pedophilia, all these particular things that can occur dealing with something as simple as a rap video of women shaking their butt. Now, granted, I look at it both ways, okay? Just like gangster rap music, and my belief had people back in the early 2000s and late 90s doing drive-by shootings, going up killing people because rappers were rapping about this. And it becomes subjective. If that's the only music that you're listening to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes very repetitious. You saw and believe that this is the thing that you shoot. Oh, he did me wrong. He disrespected me, so I'm going to go kill him. Really? You should kill someone because they disrespected you? That they didn't hurt you, they didn't harm you, they didn't hurt you or your family member? You should go kill them because of that? Hey, you got to look at the bigger picture, okay? You have to look at the bigger picture. You being at home with your family, taking care of them is more important than any other man or any other woman disrespecting you. Okay, some things, that's what I call a petty problem. You need to, as we say, you need to keep it pushing. You need to keep it pushing. You don't need to scream and yell at every person who did you wrong, at every person who talked sideways at their mouth. You don't need to give them your 2 cents, your 5 cents, or your dollar. You don't need to do that. Sometimes you can ignore the stupidity, you can ignore the foolishness and keep it pushing. There is a bigger picture out there. And if you're in jail, if you're dead, you can't do it. You can't reveal, you can't go forth in your picture. You can't manifest what this universe has for you. You can't, because of your stupidity, because somebody disrespected you. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to forego 46. I'm going to forego 48. That's the last one. Let me read 47. Law 47, do not pass the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you have aimed for. And by going too far, you make more enemies than your defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal when you reach it and stop. Let me tell you something. When people become successful, some of them become a bigger image than what they show you. Now, if somebody is an a-hole, if they become more successful, they become what? A bigger a-hole. If somebody is a giver, a philanthropist, they become a bigger giver. Okay, they become a philanthropist when they get bigger and more successful. So you really have to be humble. Okay, be humble and take some small victories. Okay, and that means showboating, because this is what we're talking about. A lot of times you say, man, you really changed, and that can go both ways. You really change for the good, or you really change for the good, but now you conceited, now you're this, now you're that, now you pompous, now you goulet, now you are all these things that people don't want to associate themselves with. Because the whole entire time you was winning the race, you was showing them the football the whole entire time. You could show them a little bit and then cuff it back up going for the touchdown. But the whole 80 yards you were running, you're like, I know you ain't faster than me. I know you're not stronger than me. You can make more enemies than friends. That's all I got to say today, family. Hopefully, some of you people found some value in what I was saying. This is Financial Literacy 101. Chris Johnson, you're absolutely welcome, my brother. I thank you guys for joining me today. Shout out to Patrice Dominique. Thank you for saying facts. Hopefully, this reaching enough people and just to have you to think on a much broader spectrum, whether it be politics, whether it be religion. Just think bigger than what people are feeding you. Think bigger than what people are telling you. And at the end of all things, regardless of what I say or anybody else say, do your own research. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.